Hi, everyone, and thank you for waking up with us on this Thursday morning. It's now 6 o'clock. I'm Jordan Schreier here with Lisa Bedeau. New this morning, firefighters got an early morning wake-up call for a grass fire in western Cass County, and it may be a sign of what's to come as things dry out this spring. The fire was reported around 3:15 a.m. just north of I-94 at the Buffalo exit.
There's no word on the cause or how bad it was, but it's the kind of thing safety officials are watching out for. Cass County is among several counties in the valley that are under a high fire danger. The Fargo Fire Department says because of the risk, there's no open burning allowed in the city right now.
Now 1 minute past the top of the hour, and to see how our weather is contributing to that high fire danger, here's Justin Fanfarelli.
Unfortunately, we do have red flag warnings in effect for most of the viewing area for today. We'll see what they do for tomorrow with very dry conditions, and it will be windy with a lot of sunshine for today, and that's not really going to help the fire danger at all, but it looks like it's going to be a lot better over the weekend. Today a high of 64. The wind will pick up by the afternoon, partly cloudy to mostly sunny skies, and not nearly as warm as yesterday. Current temperatures around the region ranging from the mid-30s out toward Jamestown to the mid-40s into Lakes Country. The cool spot, though, into the Devil's Lake Basin, low to mid-30s out in that direction in the Northern Valley, mainly into the upper 30s to near 40 degrees. Wind not that bad right now, starting to pick up a little, especially into the Northern Valley, still 5 to 15 miles per hour from a west-northwesterly direction. Wind advisory in effect noon to 7 p.m. today for the Devil's Lake Basin for winds northwest at 20 to 40 miles per hour. And with the wind and the dry conditions, red flag warnings in effect from 1 to 8 p.m. today for most of the viewing area, with the exception of our far eastern counties. We're dry this morning, mainly clear skies across most of the viewing area, with the exception of a line from Ellendale to Wahpeton to Fergus Falls and points off to the south, where they have mostly cloudy skies. Going through the afternoon, mostly sunny to partly cloudy. High temperatures ranging from the lower 50s into the Devil's Lake Basin to the mid-60s into the Southern Valley and into Lakes Country. Again, it will be windy going through this afternoon with a very high fire danger. There's your weather. Let's check in with the Valley Today's Al Ahmet with your traffic.
Good morning, Justin. Good morning, everyone. We're on Interstate 94. We're just at the Cheyenne Street construction zone, and we have some head-to-head traffic out here now on the westbound lane. Whoa, these semis are really running close. So anyway, the bottom line is you're going to have to slow down and be extra careful through here. Of course, they're replacing the bridge over Interstate 94 and or over Cheyenne Street, rather, on Interstate 94, the eastbound bridge. And so that's why we have this head-to-head traffic. So make sure you're planning for that. Travel speeds drop to 55 miles an hour through here right now. I suspect they'll drop even slower as the traffic picks up. Quite a bit of traffic out here on the interstate this morning. Travel speeds out here 60 to 65 mile an hour range. Road surface is dry. It's off to a nice start this morning. Good looking road conditions. We'll be back with you here in about 10 minutes when we check out I-29, and we have a report of a stalled car. We'll check on that as well. Back in 10, Al Ahmet, Valley Today traffic.
The Occupational Safety and Health Administration is investigating the death of a conservation officer in Minnesota. Eugene Wynn and a sheriff's deputy were responding to a call on Cross Lake near Pine City last Friday, when both were thrown from their boat minutes after leaving shore.
The deputy was rescued. Wynn's body was recovered then after a 5-hour search. A Minnesota OSHA spokesman says they're reviewing safety and health practices, conducting interviews, and taking photos and video to determine if any hazardous conditions contributed to that accident. A Sabin, Minnesota man is going to prison for 3.5 years for the car crash that killed a 2-year-old boy. 42-year-old Jeremy Sagvold was sentenced yesterday for criminal vehicular homicide and careless driving. He had been found not guilty of manslaughter. 2-year-old Zayden Ness of Breckenridge died in the January 2018 crash at Highway 10 and 34th Street in Moorhead. He was in the car with his parents.
A 34-year-old North Dakota woman is dead after a rollover crash in central North Dakota. The Highway Patrol says the driver left the road yesterday morning near Tappan, entered the median, then steered back to the road, but ended up rolling into the ditch. The woman was not wearing a seatbelt and was thrown from the vehicle. Police say she was from Strasburg, North Dakota. They plan to release her name a little later today. Police in Crystal Lake, Illinois, believe they have recovered the body of a 5-year-old boy who disappeared from his home about a week ago. Officers discovered A.J. Frone's body buried in a shallow grave and wrapped in plastic. His parents have been charged with murder and aggravated battery. The day A.J. was reported missing, his mother was arrested on an outstanding traffic warrant. In the police report for that incident, officers expressed concern over the living conditions at the family's home.
Former Vice President Joe Biden has just launched his third bid for the presidency and is positioning himself as a trusted champion of the middle class, eager to take the fight to President Donald Trump. In a video released this morning, Biden says he's in a battle for the soul of the nation. He faces serious obstacles, including a vocal liberal base and past policy positions on major issues. In our consumer alert this morning, we're getting close to the time that lawns need a clearing and maybe some sprucing up for the summer. And if you use a lawn service company, the Better Business Bureau has some tips to avoid getting scammed. They warn against companies who go door to door and say it's better to hire an established, legit business.
You should ask for references and photos of the work they've done at other people's homes. Some people we spoke with say they plan on hiring a lawn company because they say they just don't have time to do the work themselves.
Make sure whatever they tell you, you get in writing before you allow them to start doing any work that way.
It takes time away from us from having to do it ourselves and stuff like that, and I don't want to purchase all the proper chemicals and stuff like that.
One last piece of advice from the BBB, get separate quotes from different companies and make sure they break down the prices the same way so you can really compare.
When buying a new home, there are a ton of questions that you might have, which is actually a good thing because it is one of the largest financial purchases of your life.
And now there is a one-stop shop to get all your questions answered. We head now to the Valley Today's Abby Furchner. She joins us live. Good morning, Abby.
Good morning, you guys. I'm here with Leanne Knopp and Peggy Barnum with Plains Title Company. And you guys have kind of the fun job because when it comes to home buying, you're in the closing process. And so, Leanne, explain that a little bit. How do you help home buyers?
Yep, you're right. We do have the fun job. We're the last stop on someone's home buying process. So we're the last people that you meet with. We get to sit down with everyone and we go through the closing papers and answer all the final questions. And then it's exciting. We get to help hand over the keys and they get to move in. Yep. So part of our process, or our goal, like when we do events tomorrow night, so when you come see us out at Drecker, we're there to answer all your questions about what to expect at the closing so that it's not something that's going to give you anxiety about or be nervous about. We want all those questions to be answered ahead of time so that you can come to closing with a smile and, sign a few things and then walk away to your new home.
That is so exciting. It's an exciting time when you buy a first home. But Peggy, you work mainly with the titles. So explain that a little bit more.
Yep, our part of the company comes in at the beginning of your process when you first sign your purchase agreement, and we make sure that there's no liens or encumbrances or any judgment that will affect your ownership. So the whole team is kind of working for you from start to finish. So
wow.
Just to make sure you're okay.
And so you can talk with both Peggy and Leanne tomorrow night at Drecker Bruhala from 5:30 to 7:30. Talk all about that closing process. What happens after you're right at the end of purchasing that new home before you move in. And so you can come out 5:30 to 7:30, Drecker Bruhala.
Fun stuff and informative too. It's a win-win there. Abby, thank you so much. It's prom dress drama for at least one local high school student. I'll tell you about her costly time crunch just ahead on the Valley Today.
And later, local police say to watch out for home buying scams that they spotted on a popular website.
And lots of sunshine, but windy over the next couple of days as temperatures fall and some moisture for the weekend. We'll tell you where temperatures go from here coming up next.
You're watching Valley News Live on TV, online, and on the go. Always on, wherever you are, whenever you need to know. Valley News Live.